Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Transformers Friday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Crankcase. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top Transformers Legacy and a hook, peg hook. Well, not the peg hook, but the hook that goes on a peg hook. Rather. Anyway, 8 and up to Karatomi, Generations, Transformers Legacy, Decepticon Crankcase. It doesn't say Decepticon, but it does say Decepticon. Hasbro print, Deluxe Class. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in Vietnam print, symbols I'm not going to learn, a barcode, and includes figure to accessories and instructions. On this side, some nice artwork of Crankcase in his robot mode, and I forgot to say there's nice artwork here on the front of him in his alt mode, and then that nice Decepticon version of the Legacy artwork here on this side. Authentic Transformers Legacy. On the back, Transformers More Than Meets the Eye. Crankcase, he transforms from robot to vehicle in 14 steps. Parents, scan that. And there it is if you want to scan it. Warning, attention, Oxoon. Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Small fine, legalese made in Vietnam print. And another symbol I'm not going to learn. That, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories in alt mode. And here we have the most important, well, to some folks I guess, the instruction manual. If you've transformed a skids mold before, then it's not very much difference on this at all, because this is a heavily retooled skids. And here we have Transformers Legacy 8 and up, Generations, Transformers Crankcase, small fine legalese, Hasbro print, all that good stuff. Then as we get to the inside, you can see nice illustrations, clearly defined, and the instructions themselves are mostly easy to follow. Then the other accessory is, of course, his weapon, which is the same mold as skids. It's just molded in this translucent plastic rather than with the silver paint app on it, and it looks okay like that. Now let's take a look at the vehicle itself, and I have to say, you know, I did not recognize this as a retool of skids until I went to transforming the back end and those legs and the way that they fold under and stuff. That just got me. I'm like, I know I've seen this before. Oh yeah, it's skids. So he also does have another accessory here. This front end piece is also comes loose and becomes a weapon, and we'll get to that later. And you can see he's got some nice glossy, very, very glossy paint apps. Silver paint app here, nice Decepticon tampo. And then this part's molded in color, whereas this part's molded in color as well, whereas this part is paint. And then you can see this is a piece that they've added to the skids mold on the back end. In fact, I'm not sure these pieces here may be new altogether. This piece, of course, is part of skids, or the skids mold, retooled from that. And on the underside, Can't see his face, but how many times are you going to be looking at the bottom of the vehicle? And you got these parts here, and then nice silver paint apps for the wheels. And I just say it's pretty striking looking guy, and he rolls fairly well. It doesn't catch on anything, so that's cool. Well, there you have it, my friends, a look at Crankcase in his alt mode. It's time for alt mode comparisons, and here we have Deluxe class Crankcase with Transformers Legacy Deluxe class skids and Transformers Legacy Walmart exclusive Speedia 500 Deluxe class Burnout. For our final set of alt mode comparisons, here we have Deluxe class Crankcase with Titans Returns Legends class Bumblebee and the Amazon exclusive Generation Selects War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Leader class Alternate Universe Optimus Prime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the comedy portion of our program where I attempt to transform this Transformer. And the first thing you want to do, and I forgot to show this in vehicle and accessory mode, but if you have a skid, you already know this. There's a port here on the top, and the gun plugs right into that. We don't need that right now. And then, of course, let's go ahead and remove the front end there. And where to start? Let's see. I want to say we start right here with these door panels. And you can see there is a kind of a post peg type deal right there, and it goes into this slot right here. And then this, you see how it has an indentation right there, and it goes around that peg you can see sticking out right there. So let's go ahead. We got both of those taken care of. Now let's flip the wheels in like so, and then just like on skids, you want to make sure that this piece is untabbed from the legs. So there you go, and you can see the two tabs right there, and the two slots are right up in there. So just straighten those out like that, and then this piece right here is on a hinge. I don't think we can do anything with it yet. I think we have to take care of the arms first. So let's go ahead and get the arms taken care of, and you'll notice it's kind of waffly here on the bottom, and there's a peg or tab right here that goes into this hollow piece, and that's just to keep it into position while it's in vehicle mode. Now this piece right here, you can see the hinge now, and this whole hip assembly just comes forward, and then for some reason his legs are really tight. So once you get that hip assembly in position and locked into place, and it does lock in, you can separate the legs, and then you just flip these panels here up into position. His feet are already there, so that's good. Then these whole arm assemblies, you just move them right here. There's a hinge right here, and I don't know why this one acts like it doesn't want to come loose. Move it down like this. Well, I say that you move it down like that. And son of a beatus, I didn't break it, but it did come off of the pegs. But it does look like I did break it right here. Broke a little tab off. That's not good. It's never good when you break one. So make it really kind of hard to break transformers these days, but at least in my experience, I do break them every once in a while. So there's that one. Y'all got to see it every once in a while. Comedy portion and all that good stuff. So, and the head, it just stays right there. And this front end assembly just comes down like that. Then you straighten the arms up. And they're at that bicep swivel. Just move them forward. That actually does that. Yeah, that. Yeah, there we go. That looks right. Is that right? Let's see. Yep, that's right, according to the picture on the instructions. And then you turn the arms this way. And then as far as this piece goes, you actually could leave it down like that. And then, but what you're supposed to do is lift it up into this position, and then he has these two guns right in here that shoot to either side of his head. And then as far as his gun goes, you can put it in his hand. As far as his front end goes, you can see there's a handle right here, and there's a hinge right here, and you undo it from the side here and flip it up under. It doesn't peg in or anything right here that I can tell. No, it doesn't. And then you got two little barrels on it right here, but of course, you know, it's all open and waffly looking here on this side. So, and then you can put that in his hand, and pew, pew, he is ready to battle. That, my friends, is Crankcase, all transformed with only a slight mishap. Let's take a look at Crankcase in his robot mode, and we've already discussed his weapons in the transformation section or comedy portion, however you wish to refer to it. And again, he's got these two little guns here. I have to say, nice sculpt and paint apps for the head and face. And then lots of nice silver on the chest piece here. And then some paint here on the shins, and pretty much everything else is molded in color, minus what we talked about during the vehicle portion. And let's take a look at his articulation. He looks up that far. He doesn't really look down. He's got a little bit of waggle. He can do the full exorcist and no chicken neck. At the shoulder, 360 degree rotation, and it's got a hinge in here and here, so you can get that much movement out of it if you want to, but without this hinge here, that's about it. There is a cut here at the upper bicep for 360 degree rotation, and a hinge at the elbow, single hinge, for just slightly better than 90 degrees, it looks like. And then, of course, he does have 360 degrees of rotation at his wrist. He also has 360 degrees of rotation at the waist, at the hips. Stay together, you. Let's get the arms up out of the way. So, at the hips, he can give you that much of the splits. And like I said, he's really stiff in the hips. And I don't know if it's just my copy or if everybody's is like that. But anyway, he can kick forward past 90 degrees. Backwards, he kicks like a mule. He'd probably go further. This piece does hamper that just a little bit. There is a cut right here on a double mushroom peg that allows for 360 degrees of rotation. There's a single hinge at the knee, and it gives you approximately 90 degrees. And then no tilt at the ankle, but he does have a hinge in there for rocker, and it'll give you that much. Not quite 90 degrees. And then we can put his weapons back in his hands. And guess what, my friends? That is a look at Crankcase in his robot mode. It's time for my favorite part of a Transformers review, robot mode comparisons. And here we have Deluxe Class Crankcase with the Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Skids and the Transformers Legacy Walmart exclusive Velocitron Speedia 500 Collection Deluxe Class Burnout. For our final set of comparisons, here we have Deluxe Class Crankcase with the Titans Returns Legends Class Bumblebee and the Walmart exclusive Netflix War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime. For final thoughts on the Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Crankcase, I have to say, I find myself liking this guy more than I expected to. Part of it, I suppose, is the unexpected surprise, at least for me, that, you know, it's a heavily retooled Skids mold, and I'd like that Skids mold. And, you know, it's nice to have a Decepticon on that mold now. And it is, you know, retooled. So, you know, you can't just glance at it and think, oh my gosh, that's the Skids mold. So, I like the colors on it. I'm not totally familiar with the character. I think he's a G1. I don't know. I probably should have done some research to see actually who this guy is, but I didn't care. He just looks cool, and I thought it was really a fun piece that his the grill of the vehicle pops off and becomes a weapon. I thought that was a pretty cool addition. And, you know, again, overall, I like this guy. He looks cool. The colors are cool. And I am glad I picked him up. I was originally going to pass on him and actually found him in a store. And, you know, that's the power of finding something on a toy hunt. Is you might pick up something you might otherwise not buy online. And that's the case here. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or, just help channel out further, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.